bloater was a terrifying 7-foot creature, portrayed by a stunt actor in a prosthetic suit. The live-action performance lacked the weight and strength that was required to stay true to the character in the game. By making the creature all CG, we were able to adjust the materials and the proportions of his body to enhance his inhuman performance. We referenced artwork provided by Naughty Dog and a particular barrel-chested MMA fighter, but our extensive creative design process meant our creature was completely unique to the series. The bloater's fungal crown emphasized his menacing appearance, and light transmission in both skin and cordyceps added further realism to his character. This also ensured a smooth integration against the backlight of the burning house, which was crucial to making the creature look photorealistic. The thick and bristly hair covering his body helped break the silhouette. We also added a really fine, fuzzy layer of hair in between the bigger shapes on his head. The three main materials on the bloater were his thick, leathery skin, multiple layers of cordyceps shapes, and spore pods which exploded on impact. Combining these materials made for an impenetrable armor, strong enough to withstand an onslaught of high-powered rifles. In our creature simulation, we used stiffness maps to control the differing rigidity of the three main materials. The flexible skin allowed for movement in between and even underneath the stiffer sections, while a softer belly and chest volumes emphasized the bloater's weight. The bloater's performance was dramatically enhanced to maximize the brutality of the cul-de-sac sequence. We took inspiration from the game when recreating iconic story beats, as the bloater smashes his way through the crowd and rips the head off Rebel Officer Perry. A combination of motion capture and extensive keyframe animation is what ultimately brought the performance to life.
A burning building was the main light source during the big battle sequence, where hordes of infected poured out of a giant sinkhole. One of the biggest compositing challenges was layering the additional CG infected in between the live-action actors, while also adding dozens of muzzle flashes and impact elements like blood and dust. Smaller fires were integrated on the ground and in the burning house. The scene was also dressed with burning debris, smoke, and interactive footfalls and dust that appeared on vehicles along the suburban street. The fire lighting was driven by effects simulations to enhance the practical fires captured in camera. Additional lights were placed on all CG characters and used in compositing for interactive lighting, which was driven by the rebels' muzzle flashes. The flashes and their lingering smoke trails were timed and placed to add to the overall frenzy of the scene. They also helped direct the viewer's attention to the most significant beats in the sequence. When the bloater emerges from the sinkhole, the first step was matching the CG creature to the on-set lighting. From there, the extra detail our high-quality bloater model afforded us was shaped with additional beauty lighting on a shot-per-shot basis. With a roaring fire behind him, we kept to a very silhouetted lighting scheme, adding to his dramatic, menacing appearance. The child clicker was also introduced in silhouette, but with just enough light sculpted on her face to ensure the audience would recognize her as a young girl. This introduced a terrifying new facet to the infected and a new dimension to the series. Apart from a small sliver of plate in the very foreground, the final shot of the sequence was entirely CG. The lighting was naturally vignetted, and car headlights were used to rim light the infected crowd at various depths throughout the shot, drawing viewers through the scene. By strategically placing small fires in the distance, pockets of light were created for the infected to run through on their way to terrorize Kansas City.